Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vento Aureo, or Golden Wind if you prefer. And this is episode 27. So last time we met the boss, sort of. Because the boss is actually one of two one of two plus personalities. I still think there's at least three, living within the same body. We have the boss personality, of course, which we don't know the name of yet, but we also have Doppio, or Doppio. I'm going to say Doppio. Doppio is a kind of innocent, nice kind of kid who's just trying to get by and everything. He's polite. He's just this cute little innocent kid. I mean, not obviously little kid, not like literally, but yeah. And he works under the boss, and he has this weird tick to whenever the boss personality wants to speak to the Doppio personality, he starts making this ringing noise, and the Doppio personality construes it as he's hearing a phone. And he'll pick up whatever object just happens to work at the time. Like, let's say I pick up my wallet here. And he picks it up, puts it to his ear, and acts like it's a phone, and his boss personality talks to him through it. Although, obviously, he's the only one who can hear it, because he's basically talking to himself. We also know that the Doppio personality is able to control King Crimson, at least to a degree. And it's really interesting. We also see that he's facing off against the leader of the execution squad, or the assassination squad. So we see that that's coming into play, although he seems to be left alone for the time being. We also see that that he seems to be pretty messed up, just in general. Because here's the thing, in the past we saw that he was born to a mother who couldn't have gotten pregnant. She just suddenly got pregnant out of nowhere, like, not just pregnant, but like 9 months pregnant, just kind of just happened out of nowhere and gave birth pretty much right away. As I stated last time, kind of like Umbrella Academy. And then, especially since the only person I guess she's ever had sex with died years prior. So she gave birth to him. He didn't cry when he was born. His eyes were already open, which was odd as well. And when he grew up, he ended up being taken in by this priest, I believe it was. And he ended up killing the priest after the priest found his mother from the prison under the floorboards somehow. Still alive, but just kind of like emotionally dead. So that was interesting. Now, I stated in that reaction and all that I believe that he probably had the personality split from that event. Because the thing is, you can't be born with multiple personality disorder. And there was actually a debate about this in the comments, if I remember it right, as well, from between two different viewers. A couple of you were actually debating this. You can be born with various disorders and stuff, of course, mental or otherwise. But multiple personality disorder is is specifically a disorder that comes from a traumatic event or some kind of key event that like causes a traumatic enough experience for your mind to kind of have that personality split. It's not something you can be born with. Now, I questioned what was the initial personality? Which personality was his original one? And the kind of idea there was that I was thinking it was Doppio. Or no, was I thinking it was Doppio, or I was thinking it was the boss? I No, I think I was saying it was Doppio. Um, it's been a little over a week, so I believe my guess was that it was Doppio and that the boss personality came from the traumatic events and stuff. Someone had pointed out though that apparently his eyes do change when he was a baby as well. Um, and here's the thing: I can acknowledge that because of the strange circumstances of his birth and everything, maybe somehow he could have been born with the two personalities. But I think it's more like he was born with two personalities, yes. But I think it was Doppio and then the kind of aggressive Doppio personality, as I called it. I think the boss personality uh, didn't initially come from that, if anything. And even so, the aggressive Doppio personality, I think, is just more it is the Doppio personality still, but kind of if he snaps, if he is kind of like triggered in a way. It's still the Doppio personality. It's not like he actually has a split personality with that. So I'm kind of wary on even counting that as a personality, but it is different enough from the regular Doppio personality that I kind of do count it. It's complicated. It's a really complicated character. But I think but my kind of idea is that the boss personality wasn't born until after the events that we saw with all of those people dying, the priest dying, and everything, the priest being killed, uh, and all. It kind of unlocked that personality, the boss, and the boss personality at that point then was the one that faked the death, his own death, and everything kind of moved on from there. That's how I'm viewing it, at least. Um, but I'm excited to find out where this goes, where this battle goes, and where just everything else goes. Because our assassination squad leader has an interesting stand, it seems. Because we saw that he caused Doppio to puke up razor blades, and we saw that there were like these nails, these pins or whatever that were like shooting out of his cheeks and shit. It's like it was gross as fuck. I'm wondering the exact specifications of that. But either way, with all of this stuff, I'm sure we're going to find out more this episode. And I'm interested, and I mean, I don't know, like, one way or the other, like, what the canonical specifications, of the personality of Doppio and the boss are, um, and how the split works and everything. But yeah, I'm kind of, at least for now, headcanoning it that he initially it was just Doppio and the aggressive Doppio as like this kind of triggered personality, this kind of almost like bipolar kind of thing. Um, but then you have, of course, the boss who came in later, after, during the events of that traumatic experience all those years ago. That's my headcanon for now, at least. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be explored more in this episode. Um, Also, I don't remember if I mentioned, but in the last episode, we didn't get any of our main heroes, any of Team Bruno. Um, we saw Aerosmith flying around, but that's it, and it was very brief. So that's interesting as well. Um, I wonder if they'll appear in this episode, or if it will just continue to be strictly about Doppio, the boss, and the assassination group leader, whose name, by the way, obviously I can't remember. Um, but we'll find out. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so Risotto is dead. Defeated by Narancha, actually, funny enough. Um, but because the boss knew it was basically going to happen. So Doppio goes into his kind of, as I stated, this kind of aggressive Doppio sub-personality he has. It's still Doppio. He still has all the memories, all the ideas, all the same thoughts as as Doppio's personality. It's just he gains this aggressive, more confident nature to him. It's kind of like a second, like I said, like a sub personality to the Doppio one. But it exists within the same actual personality. So he's fighting Rosato, and he's actually putting together a lot on how Rosato uses Metallica in order to attack him, how he becomes invisible and stuff. And he's actually doing pretty damn well. And he's talking to the boss throughout this. And the boss is actually telling him, no, stop. Don't do what you're doing. But he's actually succeeding. But eventually the boss does start to take over, but it takes time. And it looks like Rosato might even have gained the upper hand. But that's when Aerosmith comes in. And because of the lack of oxygen and lack of breathing that Doppio / the boss's body is able to have at the time, Aerosmith can only sense one enemy, and that is Rosato. And so Narancia has Aerosmith just completely destroy Rosato. And in a way, yeah, technically speaking, Narancia got the victory there, but the boss is the one who truly won. We see him having fully taken over at the end after Narancia's first round of bullets run through Rosato. And again, we don't see his face yet, but we see that he's started to take over. So, yeah, that's fun. Now, there's still like 12 episodes to go. So there's still technically a lot of content left. I'm wondering exactly where it's going to go from here. How are they going to fit in 12 more full episodes of this season? I'm not sure. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, because I don't know. It almost seems like this is getting pretty final now. With the boss being revealed in this way, now slowly over time, with them on this island, Sardinia, looking for the boss's information. It's like this is coming up on what is clearly meant to be a big final act. But there's still a lot of episodes left, so I don't know. This battle between Rosato and Doppio was pretty damn good. I really enjoyed it. I like Metallica as a stand. How it kind of acts as like these like cell-like beings that control magnetism and can even manipulate the metal, the iron in a person's body to like create those razor blades, sewing needles, scissors, and whatnot. It's pretty insane. It's a pretty insane stand ability. Pretty deadly one too, all things considered. Like as we saw, he technically almost killed Doppio / the boss. Rosato almost killed the boss. No joke. So it shows that he does legitimately have excessively insane amount of skill. And you have to wonder, would our heroes have been able to take on Rosato? Because the only reason, hell, that Doppio and the boss were able to defeat him, honestly, was because of Aerosmith being there. Honestly, if Aerosmith wasn't there, I think that Rosato might have won. Because I don't think the boss would have come out quick enough. And that's the only reason. If the boss had come out, of course, he would have won. So the question is here, could our heroes, our Joe Bros, have taken on Rosato? Could they have defeated him themselves? And how would they be able to stand up, pun intended, I guess, against Doppio? Not the boss, but Doppio. There's a lot of questions that kind of go in with this, considering they were not part of this battle, really, until the very, very end. Now, the boss only knows about 3 members of our heroes, of Bruno's gang, being there. Bruno himself, Narancia, and Abacchio. Those are the only 3 he knows for sure that were there right then. Now, he also does know about Giorno, but he doesn't know all this detail about him and stuff. So this means at least that we saw that he was surprised that Abbacchio was there, and probably scared because I'm sure he knows Abbacchio's power. I don't know if he knows about Fugo or not. Does he know whether or not Fugo is with them? And what about Trish? It's just like Mista even. Does he know Mista's with them? It's like, does he know that Trish has a stand? There's a lot of questions that this raises. And I'm definitely interested to see them explored. Now, the Fugo thing, I think, is going to be coming up soon because, again, we do have 12 more episodes to go, and we have not gotten a resolution on that yet. The only thing I think of is that our heroes are going to have to face Fugo, that they're going to have to fight him, and that eventually through the fight they'll convince him to end up coming and joining them. Now, I don't know if the boss is going to have anything directly to do with that or not, but I guess we'll find out. But I am definitely interested to see where this goes. This has been just such a fascinating series, and they've been doing it it's so different, but also it's still clearly JoJo, and it holds all of those same kind of tropes and jokes and ideas, but it's handled so differently than like past JoJo parts, and I like that. It makes it stand out, but it also still feels like part of the whole. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with this. I'm excited to see more of what they do with Doppio and the boss, and I guess we'll see in the future where this goes. So thank you so much for tuning in, and tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vento Aureo, or Golden Wind if you prefer. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,